A full year passed since the night Daniel tried to break into my home. A year of silence, a year of healing, a year of learning how to live again, without fear, without manipulation, without guilt. I had grown into a woman I didn't recognize, a woman who laughed again, who painted landscapes, who planted roses in her front yard, who sat on the porch drinking tea at sunset. The shadows that once lived inside me had faded into something softer, something survivable. But the past has a way of whispering back to you when you least expect it. One Saturday morning, as I watered my flowers, I saw a man standing at the edge of my driveway. Thin, older, shoulders slumped. It took me a moment to realize. It was Daniel. He looked nothing like the confident man who once stood in court demanding my assets. His eyes were tired, his face sunken, his clothes worn. "Mom," he said quietly. Just that one word. And it cut deeper than all the others he had ever said. I didn't invite him inside. We sat on the porch, in two chairs, with an entire lifetime of distance between us. For a long time, neither of us spoke. Finally, Daniel whispered, "I got out last month. I've been in a program. They're helping me get clean." Clean? I looked at him properly. The shaking hands, the exhausted eyes, the fragile voice. And suddenly, the missing pieces of the puzzle slid into place. "Daniel," I whispered, "what were you using?" He closed his eyes. Everything. The drugs, the gambling, the debts, the desperation. It all made sense now. Not as an excuse, but as a truth I had never seen. He looked at the ground. "I hurt you," he said softly. "I know I did. I don't expect forgiveness. I just needed you to know I'm trying." A tear slipped down my cheek, not from sadness, from acceptance. Daniel lifted his eyes. "Mom, do you hate me?" My heart twisted. I took a slow, trembling breath. "No," I whispered. "I don't hate you." His face immediately crumbled. "But Daniel, I can't save you either." He nodded slowly, painfully. "I know. I'm sorry," he choked out. "For the court case, for the threats, for trying to take everything from you, for the lies, for disappearing, for everything." I felt my chest tighten, with years of broken hope. "I can't forget what happened," I said honestly, "but I don't hold hatred in my heart anymore." Daniel nodded again. Then he reached into his pocket and pulled out a small folded paper. "This is my number," he said. "I'm not asking you for anything. I just want you to call me if you ever want to talk." He placed the paper on the small porch table. "I'm staying at the recovery center down the road," he added. "I'm working in the kitchen, trying to rebuild." Then he stood, and for the first time in his life, he looked fragile, human. Not a threat, not a shadow, just a broken man trying to become someone better. "Goodbye, Mom," he whispered. And he walked away. Not angry, not demanding, not expecting, just quietly, gently, like a chapter closing. That night, I sat at my kitchen table and stared at the little piece of paper he left. My hands shook as I wrote a letter I never intended to send. "Daniel, I hope you find your way. I hope you heal from the things I could not fix. I hope you become a man you can finally live with. But most of all, I hope you learn to love without needing to destroy." I folded the letter and placed it in a drawer. Some words are meant only for the heart. Months later, I found myself sitting again on my porch as the sun dipped below the horizon. I felt the warm wind brush my face. I felt peace, real peace, the kind that comes not from forgetting, but from surviving. The kind that comes from choosing yourself after a lifetime of choosing everyone else. I whispered into the evening air, "I forgive you, Daniel, but I choose me." And with those words, a weight I had carried for 30 years lifted from my chest. Perfect ending for YouTube videos. If you are listening to this story, remember this. Sometimes the people we love most are the ones who wound us deepest. But you are allowed to walk away. You are allowed to protect your peace. You are allowed to choose healing over history. Family is not defined by blood, but by love, respect, and safety. And sometimes, letting go is the only way to finally be free.